how much money we are raising and how much money we are spending and who are the donors that are contributing and how much they're contributing and where are we spending all this money. So we have to submit a return that's called and at the end of each quarter. So this is going to be our second quarter, and the second quarter starting the 1st of April, finishing 30th of June, and then we get another 1 month to submit this money return to the FEC, to the Federal Election Commission, and everybody can see that if anyone wants to in the website, and it's called fec.gov. So if someone wants to see anything about this campaign finance, or who are the candidates, and to know their, who are those people, and everything and anything you can look for, basically, logging to, if you want, if you're interested in fec.gov, right? So fec.gov is the website that controls the main part of the election here. And as well as every state board of election, every county board of election also gets involved. So basically, all our information, are a public information, and you can find them there. So this is why we let people know that, yes, this is what we are doing. Every 3 months, most of the candidates, they are active raising their fund and see how much money they can raise. And also they keep their machinery, their election campaign machinery active, and in touch with the public. Every 3 months they have to do it. And the accountability is there very much, that you submit the report, you get 1 month to submit it. So starting the 1st of June to the 1st of July to the end of July, that is the window time for us to submit it. So if anyone is slow in submitting, that happens for the many of the candidates for some reason or other. So some will submit it early in the July, or some will wait till the end of the July and finally submit it, right? And there is another story here, that you have to raise a minimum of $5,000 to be obligated. So if I have raised $5,000 in any quarter particularly, then there is an obligation that I must submit that report. But if I haven't raised that 5,000, I may not submit it. If I keep quiet, it tells that I may not have raised $5,000, or I may not have spent $5,000. So I'm excused under the system, that I don't have to submit the report. And or many of the candidates will just report in one line saying that I haven't raised 5,000. So in many cases, they will submit it as 0. That means 0, they have raised 0. That 0 is not always really 0. Anything below 5,000 can be reported as 0. So below $5,000, if I raise it, I'm not under obligation to tell, now where did I get that money, who gave me that money, how much they gave me. It's not an obligation. But once I cross that 5,000, now I have to tell them in details, how much I raised and how much I spent and who are the donors. And the donors obligation, as you know, are there. And so that has to be all, public should be, can reach that, can, make up their minds, check for their candidates, how they're doing campaign-wise and the campaign finance particularly. Right, so that is what is so far, that the reason that we are doing it. The last quarter, we didn't raise 5,000. We could just simply say 0 raised and 0 spent, but we choose to report it. So it was not, it was less than $2,000 in the first quarter, and we spent less than 1,000 in the first quarter. And now we are working on the second quarter. And the second quarter, our target was, actually for the first 6 months, my target was to raise $5,000. In the first quarter, my target was to raise only $1,000. Because in the early stage of the campaign, we were not spending that much money, because we don't have to get exhausted early on when no one is listening. And people are busy otherwise working with the other campaigns and elections that are going on. There's an election going on right now for year 2021, which we are no part of it. So people are not, looking at us. They are rather listening to and watching all what is happening with the elections that are going on in 2021. And the primary in New York City was just this week on the 22nd. Some results are out, some results are still not out, right? And the election itself will be in November this year. But our election, the election that I'm contesting, is an election next year. And the primary will be June next year. So our activities actually haven't, gotten any speed yet. But on the other hand, we cannot sit idle either, because we have a Republican contestant and the sitting congressman. He has the means to raise millions of dollars. He's already raised about so much money, hundreds of thousands of dollars he already has raised. And we can look at how much he raised. You can just simply know that in a minute. I'm going to let you see that as well. Okay? So that's the kind of story that we want people to know it, get used to where to look for these informations and how to work with it. So this is a way that we can let our friends and family know that we are already working on it, and this is how we work, right? So that they can get used to it and build up our campaign. We are in the US campaign for the first time, so there's a lot of things that we have to learn. We are learning. Our volunteers, our friends and family, they are learning, right? And maybe this is the first time they're actively involved. So we need to get to know all these things, right? And side by side, our opponent is definitely, we have two stages of opponent. The first thing is that we have opposition, in the party, looking for the primary as regards who gets the nomination. And then, of course, there is the general election, which will be November next year. And that election is obvious, that much away. But again, time flies. So we are keeping our, we are trying to gain speed in our campaign.
How much money have we raised right now?
We have raised a total of 5,000, looks like already, right? The last, let me tell you exact number. The money we raised for the last quarter was $1,500, including little contribution from myself. And this quarter, we have raised so far $2,800 already. So that will be about not quite 4,000 yet, but hopefully it will be 4,000 by the end of the quarter, maybe 5,000 by the end of the quarter. So, depends on if you can raise some money today and or, the last few days that we still have. I would like to show you a small budget that I made in the beginning of the year. So, and this is what the budget for the year we anticipated that this is the kind of story that we can, walk through. And in the beginning, the start of the campaign, up to March, I wanted to raise $1,000 because in those few months, we are not basically spending that much on anything. And we raised about 1,000. We wanted to raise 1,000. We raised 1,000, 1,500 we raised. That is what our first quarter raising was. And in second quarter, our plan was to raise 4,000, making it 5,000 for the first 6 months. And we are nearly there. We didn't cross that limit, basically. We are nearly making it in 5,000. Hopefully by the end of the month, we will be close to 5,000. Hopefully, and that's a kind of a target we are trying to reach. And leaving the next 6 months to raise, hopefully, another 15,000, right? Another 15,000 in the next quarter, 6,000, the last quarter, 9,000 once, people actively start talking about the campaign and working actively about the campaign. And also our expenditure is, picking up. We are trying to spend more money on the campaigning itself. So, unless you can raise the money, how can you spend it? So we have to get to know how we can raise, that much money that to spend it. So to inform you, one of the small things that I'm doing that I readily remember is the next week I'm going to attend 2 of the very good important gathering. 1st of July, there's a gathering in front of LaGuardia. And there's a gathering of the Bangladeshi doctors. The Bangladeshi doctors called BMA. You might know BMA. And BMA has its annual convention. And there's going to be 2 locations for that convention. One happening in New York, the other gathering happening in Dallas. So I'm basically attending both of them. I'm going to attend the New York gathering on the 1st of July. And on the 2nd of July, I'm going to go to Dallas as well. So I've already, booked everything and heading to Dallas on the 2nd and staying there for 2 days. And this is mainly because of trying to do the networking, right? To get support from the medical community. And that's where so far we are getting the main contributions from. So that's what we are trying to get involved, involve them as much as we can. And the next thing is that we need to work with the business community. And as you know, the business community now currently running an election in the city, mainly, and also, state, countrywide, the general election that is going to happen in November. They are obviously many of them will be involved there. So they might feel burdened if we start, knocking on their door, asking for money right now. But once the November election is over, whether we win that many places or we may not win as many places. So once that November election is over, hopefully, we will start to work with them more closely and we'll start to raise as much fund as we can. And we will, increase the campaign activity, our publicity and so on. So that's what overall strategy so far.
Now, do we know anything about our opponent or no?
Yes, we do. We know a lot. Actually, I'm going to show you who are the opponents, Abdullah. And this is what I would like you to see. If you give me 1 minute, I'm going to show that story. So, see what here I'm showing here is this is the Suffolk County Democratic committee structure. And this is where you can see this is a letter to me from the Suffolk County chairman. And this is a monthly bulletin that comes out of the party. So you can see our program here that we are holding this program today is in the list of the county party committee, that Muzibul Huq fundraiser, and this is what doing 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So this is in the party leaflet, and the party is doing all the other candidates doing in all kinds of programs. So some are fundraising, some are just having their routine meeting, but still they are they include that in the monthly weekly bulletin that comes from the party office. So, and your question was, who is our opponent and how are we working on him? That's what I'm going to show you here. And this is how you will know that your opponent. So opponent knowing here is in the FEC website, as I said, Election Commission website. And here is the Federal Election Commission website. It says the campaign finance. And if you go in the campaign finance, and then you can see all kinds of things, all kinds of data that we submit in the raising, spending, loans, and filing reports that we submit every 3 months, or some are obligated to submit more often. And then you see who are the candidates. And that includes all kinds of candidates, starting all candidates, presidential candidate, Joe Biden or Trump. And when they were running the election, they had to submit, and you could see all their activities right here if you click on that. But then, because we are not running for that election, and as you see in the Senate election, there's 2 senators from New York and all the other states, and we are running for the House. So remember, we are running for the House of Representatives, this is called. And so we click on the House, and then you can see all the House activities that are going on throughout the country. 1,273 total candidate for 458 seats, 458 seats, and 1,273 people contesting. You can see starting from Nancy Pelosi and so on. Everyone raising money, 4 million raised by the Nancy Pelosi in California, and spent 4 million already. And so that's the kind of their stories, and it's story of everybody here. But and it's for 2022. So we are interested about my location and my kind of activity. Who are my opposition? So here is that candidate information. You click on it, and then you say, okay, which state you are interested to know about, right? And which district you want to know me about. So you click on New York. You find out New York from here. Abdullah, can you see what I'm showing?
Yes.
Okay. So see, we are going to find New York here. And here is your New York. Okay, so remember state and territory. And we found out New York from all these. And when you see the New York, you see 68 people are running for Congress from the state of New York. That includes both the Democrats and the Republican. Now, if you click on any one of them, you can separate them. How many total Republican and how many total Democrats here. So, say for example, we want to know our seat, our district, right? District, what is our district? Our district number 2 here. So click on district 2, and then you come down to only what is happening in district 2. And there are 3 candidates, as you can see here. One Republican, who is the congressman now, Andrew Garbarino. And you can see my name here second, Democratic Party nominee. My report says I raised $1,275 and spent $524, and that is about the last quarter up until March. And my opponent here in Democratic Party You see, my opponent is Michael Sachs. So Michael Sachs is the gentleman who is the candidate for the other candidate for nomination from the Democratic Party. He just entered with the raise and with the zero raising and zero spending, right? So that is his condition, but we will know at the end of March what he has done. So what we can do, we can just get onto the Republican as the Democrats here, and then you see it's the two Democrats. And now you can find out what happened to these gentlemen before. So we can do that by simply clicking 2022. So in 2022, you see the last election, who are the candidates. So here, if you include the Democratic candidate, include the Republican as well, you are going to see all kinds of candidates. But in the Democratic side, there were 5 candidates, including Mike Sachs. And this is the man who was the candidate last time also. And last time he raised $0 and spent $0 as well. So the lady who got the nomination, she spent $4 million, raised $4 million, and nobody else raised any amount of money and spent any amount of money and above 5,000. So everybody was below 5,000. And 4 of them were there. And Mike Sachs also was there. And that is what happened with him in 2020. But if you look behind that, he was a candidate in 2018 also. So let us look at what happened in 2018. You can see same Mike Sachs was a candidate in 2018. And how much he raised? He raised $39,000 at that time. And he spent that $39,000 that year. But he didn't get the nomination. He didn't get the nomination in 18. He didn't get the nomination in 20. You go back again in 20, Mike Sachs, you see, couldn't raise 5,000 in 20. And now he's back again in 22. And his name is here again, 22. That is who he is, our opponent from the party at this time. There may be other people joining us. And just as you saw last year, in last election, there were 5 of them. And this year, so far, it is only 2 of us. So maybe there will be other people, more stronger candidate, we don't know. So that's what we are at this time, right? Abdullah, do you now understand who he is? Abdullah, are you with us? And this is the guy, Mike Sachs. Okay? And you can log about him, you can Google him and see what he's doing and who he is. And we looked at him. So, and found that yes, he is active and he's trying for the last couple of years to get into something. He was trying to get to the Albany in the Albany government, which he could not do it as yet. And then he's trying to now get to go to Washington, but we don't know what he can do. So I'm going to share 1 or 2 posters that we have created, just because we, we are kind of idling. So, and as you understand, the meeting is already, our discussion is being broadcasted on by the YouTube. Mr. Salima, is broadcasting it. So we want our viewers outside to look at what we are doing. And here is our, the annual budget for this 2021. And this is how much we raised is here in this. Who are the donors? These are the donors from my class of, the year that we were in Dhaka Medical College in Bangladesh. These are my friends from my medical school. So this is what they have donated. You can see it here. And also these are the individuals that donated.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't think we're seeing it on the screen share.
Oh, you want to see? Oh, sorry. You are not seeing it?
Yeah, only the poster.
Oh, okay. Only the poster still we are focusing on. Okay,
yeah.
So here is, okay. So here I'm going to change it from there. Now, can you see them now? Huh? Philip?
Yes, Abu. Now it's coming up.
No, okay. So this is collection. This is the collection from the non-medical kind of donors, right? So this is the family and the friends, basically non-medical side of the donors. And donors also, Philip donated $1,000. My eldest son, who is online here, and my youngest son donated 1,000 the other day. So, and this much money is here, and this is my friends from the medical school, my batchmates, and at particularly my batch has already been including 250 from myself, and now we have raised $1,900, and this is the name of the list of the names of my friends who has donated what. So, yeah. So, Shahidin Sahib, do you have any other question? Philip, do you think we continue or we can close it down?
No, I think it's fine. 1 hour is pretty good time, and this will be a repeating thing. So, I think it's okay to close out for today.
All right. So we are going to give another 5-10 minutes, and 11 o'clock, maybe we can close it down.
You going downstairs? Yeah. Okay.
Right, Abdullah? Shahidin Sahib, keep on. Right, since not anybody else is around, people have their own kind of things to do on Sundays. It's not a good time. A lot of people are still in bed also, maybe. And just kind of a routine practice, so that we can, let everyone and the friends and family, our supporters, our voters know that we are maintaining our schedule. So, Philip, do you want to add anything? Do you want to say something? How we are doing? What is our schedule? What is our strategy going forward? Philip. Philip, do you hear me? Shahidin Sahib, do you want to say something? Yeah, your mic is on off. So if you want to say something, you need to click on your mic and unmute it. So let me see if I can unmute it. No, you have to unmute it. So what you do again, moving the cursor. If you move your mouse, you can see your microphone, and you can. Yeah, now your microphone is on. Okay, if you say something now, we can hear.
No, just I'm listening what you're telling, and আপনি যে ক্লিভল্যান্ডে কি এদিকে একটা ভিজিট করার যে একটা প্ল্যান আপনার ছিল, ওটা কি এখনো মাথায় আছে নাকি না আপাতত?
না, এটা আপাতত মানে টাইমের আলোকে আমরা যেটা আপনার what I said a little while ago about going, doing this kind of thing, unless there is an organized gathering somewhere, maybe people will not take it seriously. Like say, as I say, I'm going to Dallas next week, because there is a gathering of of all the medical friends and family there. And so is a gathering in New York also. So what is happening is, because of the election this year, maybe, people will not show up. Now, if you think that, there will be a gathering that will be useful, if I make a program, I definitely want to do that. My plan is that I'm going to go to Buffalo. Yeah, I'm planning to go to Buffalo shortly.
We'll make a gathering for you. So we will go to Cleveland. Yes.
Okay, inshallah.
Inshallah. And I think since in July already there is a program in Dallas, so we can maybe think of August, if Uncle you can get good participation from over there. I think I have some time off in August, and Abba will make some time on the weekend, so we can inshallah do like a quick trip, not long, probably 1 or 2 days.
Philip, what is my schedule here is August 28th August. My semester is finishing. So starting by the end of August towards the beginning of September, I thought in Washington DC.
I know your schedule. We have time. We can do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
inshallah. So the idea is that if you want, then around that time, so that you also have time, say July and August, you see how many, what will be the like of gathering, and what will be the like of, the response that you will show up,
Okay, well, I think a 1 day visit, at least 2 day visit, because one day you need to stay in Cleveland, and the next day we'll go to the Michigan. Then you can go back to New York from Michigan.
Yes, you are right. You are right, because if I have a student, I have a very close friend, my medical college student actually, who lives in, and also have another classmate who lives in Detroit. Now, because of these two, individual, they are asking me, particularly my student Alim is asking me to visit Michigan. So I was planning that I'll go to Michigan and fly to Ohio, or go to Ohio and fly to Michigan, Detroit. So yeah, okay, you can go ahead and say what you wanted to say. Yes.
Okay, and from Cleveland to Michigan, it is just like a 2.5 hour drive. You can come back the same day from Michigan to Cleveland, and you can go back to Cleveland, New York from Cleveland too. Whatever you like it, you can arrange on that way.
Okay. So Philip,
Yes. I think that's actually a very good idea. We can hit both stops, 1 or 1.5 day, or maybe 2 day each. So Shabuddin Uncle, I'll coordinate with you and we'll make a plan.
Inshallah. Okay. Inshallah. Okay, I'm going for the breakfast. I didn't take my breakfast.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Keep you so late. All right. I think we will also close it down, because it looks like, it's no point to continue for that long.
Yeah.
So 1 hour is a good time rather than 2 hours. So maybe next time we will make it still shorter, because I thought maybe people will be, taking time and show up later, but it looks like that may not happen. So we will close it, give it a smaller window. Maybe start at 11 o'clock next time.
Okay.
Maybe we start at 11 o'clock next time so that, you can have time, breakfast and do other things and then show up and at a comfortable time. So maybe 10 o'clock is too early and too early for Sundays.
Yeah.
All right,
11
sir,
o'clock
thank
is
you so
best,
much.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Abdullah.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Abdullah, we are
Assalamualaikum.
going to then close it. Salim Shah, then we are going to close it.
Right.
Okay.
Philip?
Okay.
Yes, Abba. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So thanks everybody again. So let us just close the session for now.